Landmark books. Are they worth it? Should you be adding them to your library? And where do you even buy them? I just wanted to talk about my experience with these books, and you can make a better decision for your own library. One thing I really like about the Landmark books is that they're really easy to read. They're written on like a 5th to 6th grade level, and they're great for just assigning, with a curriculum, assigning a particular book that will fit in with their history. They're also great for just picking up and learning about something new. What I really like is that most of them are written by a person who was an expert in the field. Like The Rise and Fall of Adolf Hitler is written by William Shire, and he is actually very well known for writing a book called The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. He's considered an expert in the field, but this is a book for kids. And so what's cool about this is that you're going to get all the same information about the war, maybe not as much complexity, and particularly it doesn't cover some of the atrocities, some of the things that would be more on an adult level that you wouldn't necessarily want your child to read in 5th grade, in 6th grade, but they're still going to get a fantastic overview of what was going on at the time. Winston Churchill, this was written by a war correspondent, an American war correspondent who actually met Winston Churchill. He was even invited to dinner in his home. So these are people who actually were really well versed in the subject, and these are all books that are written on a kid's level. But you'll have a lot of biographies. There's also a lot of just periods of history, like the Alaska Gold Rush, the French Foreign Legion, Trappers and Traders of the West. So if you're trying to decide if you want to, purchase these books, they can be an investment. And I would say, start with a subject that you're interested in. Start with like this book, The Vikings. This is actually assigned in several different homeschool curriculums that I've seen. It's also been reprinted. This one I found on eBay, and I just bought one. I just bought this one, and it came with the paper cover, but if you get it with the paper cover or without, these are just fantastic to just add to your library. But also, I found a lot of these. I actually was able to find one seller who was selling 25 of them. And so I was able to purchase more at a time because I was able to combine the shipping on some of them. And so that made them a little bit more affordable. There's also some that are reprinted in a paperback form. I've seen them on Christian book distributors. It's the same book. It's just, I think they're smaller. They're not, hardcover. They're not this big, but it's all the same text. And I would just say, start with the subject that you're working in your homeschool, in your history curriculum, or in a subject that you're interested in. Just pick one and read it and see what you think. And then, you can even find them on thrift books. I've actually bought some that were like $5, $4 on thrift books just because I found the title and the author and just saved it. And when it came up, I was able to purchase them and make them much more affordable. So I really enjoyed these. I've enjoyed reading them myself, actually. And also I've enjoyed, being able to hand it to my kids and know, this is going to be really like authoritative on the subject. This is going to be helpful. This is interesting. It's not a textbook. They're well written. They're written on, good grief. Even adults today aren't reading above a 6th grade level for the most part. So if your kids are reading these books, they're getting a fantastic education. And what better than to just deep dive into a single subject for a little while? That's just a fantastic way to learn something. So I've really enjoyed these. These have been hugely beneficial for myself personally. I've seen my kids read so many of them. And I just think, books like these they're just not getting printed anymore. A lot of the titles aren't even being printed anymore. And if you find them, keep them. Even if down the road you don't end up using them, you'll be able to pass them on to somebody else who's going to just cherish these. And these are just really high quality. And I would totally recommend collecting them, and as many as you can, and keep them nice. You know, just make it a point to make these important and use them, read them, enjoy them. That's my opinion.